My son was telling me a couple of days ago about somebody that he knew that was doing a little catering, little side job kind of things, and then turned into really quite an interesting business model. And the guy didn't have a website. He didn't do any advertising. He just basically had communications with people via social media. Hi, I'm Mark Bullock. I'm the co-founder of Videosocials.net and PhoneBlogger.net. And this really brought me to think about maybe it's time we kind of redefine what marketing is. Because for those of us that have a little gray hair, been around for a time or two, we have set in our minds that we're doing something that is specific to marketing. We're buying advertising, we're creating content that we're putting out on social media, we're doing whatever we're doing. The reality is that younger generations are integrating their marketing into their practice. They're integrating it into their business. It's a part of their business. Why is that? Because their marketing is having conversations, real conversations with real people across social media. In other words, they're communicating just as they were raised with, for those of us as old as I am, we didn't have social media. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have any of that kind of stuff, right? So, but there's a whole generation now, or multiple generations, that have grown up on the internet, have grown up with social media, have grown up in this situation where their lives are very much on screen. And their communication with their friends and their business associates is live, and it's engaged, and it's through the social media channels. I don't really know what it's going to mean for us moving forward, other than to say, I think the more that we embrace the fact that social media is, of course, not a fad, obviously it's here to stay, it's going to morph, it's going to change, rules and regulations will shift about it, et cetera. But I think the underlying message is that it's a means of communication with those that we want to be in communication with, and who want to be in communication with us. And it's not just for selling stuff, and it's not just for posting stuff, throwing content out there. It's about having conversations, real conversations, in fact, with other human beings that you can engage with in a completely different way that doesn't require that you spend a lot of money. It does require that you spend some time, just as every relationship requires. Because every relationship really requires two things, doesn't it? It requires our time, and it requires us to communicate. And so if you want to be current and you want to embrace what's going to take your business to the next level from a marketing perspective, I encourage you to look at being willing to be in communication with your prospects, your friends, your VIPs, and those that might refer you business live via social media channels, rather than just throwing content at them or throwing ads at them. Hope you found this valuable. If you did, there's lots more at videosocials.net/academy. And again, my name is Mark Bullock. I'm the co-founder of Videosocials.net. Have a great day.